What's up, guys? Vince right here, and welcome back to VinzTalk. I still get comments about webtoons. I don't know why. I don't do webtoon anymore. I don't know if you realize that, and I'm tired of repeating myself. So I just ignore the comments. Yeah, it's kind of sad because, a lot of times it's always been back and forth. And I know what you guys are trying to do, trying to get me back to webtoon, something that I'm very well known for. But I don't know. I don't want it. I can't be part of that and support a company that just, goes against my beliefs. But anyways, hope everyone's having a good day. Yes, we're still doing this Charlie Kirk thing. I seen the video. I got a lot of dislikes. I don't care. It's funny. Dislikes, but a good amount of you didn't even say anything. Actually, all of you didn't say nothing about Charlie Kirk at all. I get that he's not, a perfect person at all. The thing is that as a Christian, I like it feels wrong to go against him. I don't even know the man. I don't even like him. You know? I wouldn't blame other people if they call out the stuff that he was saying. But there's this part of me where like when it comes down to, Charlie Kirk's and also his beliefs, the thing is that he's not perfect either. No one's perfect. There was this stream talking about should we, mourn bad people. And I'm like, how is Charlie Kirk bad? Like the same thing that this person called out Charlie Kirk, calling him bad. I don't think, she's a bad person. I'm not going to name the content creator. Okay. I'm not going to give them attention at all. But what do you mean by bad? None of us are good. You do know that, right? There's no such thing as a good person. All of us are not perfect. We're either like cool, we're either like A-okay, but being a good person takes a lot more, work than people realize. I'm not a perfect person. I'm not a bad person. None of us are bad. But we're not really, perfect. We're not good. I don't know what you mean by good. Like, oh, Charlie is a fascist. Charlie Kirk is a racist and stuff like that. I'm tired of this. I think Stefan sent me a video where people were calling out of Charlie Kirk being a racist or something. Still, I don't think so. I don't. The thing is, here's the thing. Some people just don't know how to forgive. When people mention the whole, slavery thing, and the thing, especially with my country, when people mention how the Chinese and the Japanese screw up the Philippines, my other home country, and what they did, and especially the Europeans, I don't guard any hate towards the Chinese or towards the Spaniards or towards the Japanese that kind of screwed my country up until we had to, flee to the US for help, but at the same time, you don't see me gathering hate at all. And I know that slavery is especially in America, is very heavy. When it comes down to other parts of slavery, especially in other areas, like in Arab nations or in, places like, I believe in India when the British came or something like that. And they had some of the Indians with the British when they came to the Caribbean a while ago. I could be wrong on that, but here's the thing. The only thing that is viral when it comes to slavery is usually the US. Forget about, Brazil, forget about other areas in the world. It's always seems to be about the US because for years and for basically centuries, people had their eyes on the US for the longest time. The longest time. I'm not discrediting, when it comes down to the history, the cruel history that America has been through. But then again, I don't know what that life is. People around me that are alive right now don't really know what that life is, don't know what it is, especially with fun. Him being black, African American in this country. I don't want to speak for him, but also, he's younger than me. We both have no idea what that time was in our lives. We never grew up in that time. We heard about the cruel history. And I'm not saying coming here and like, telling you like Charlie Kirk is like, MLK. People have their different positions and stuff like that. But when it comes down to, Charlie Kirk being like a person of Christ, I think there's a word for that, like a martyr or something like that. With my accent, I don't want to get people confused when it comes down to the boat martyr or murderer, or like sometimes my accent tends to go into those directions and stuff like that. But for a person like Kirk being there is something in my heart, in my soul. I became more spiritual because, well, within Christianity, that is my religion, if you call it spirituality within Christ. And I can't help but, feel like, that a lot of times that's what I identify because of my interaction with demons and pretty much how that affected my whole entire life, especially looking towards the Bible and looking towards Christ. Here's the thing. I really want to, emphasize of like why I came to Christ in the first place. I don't know if you guys ever been to hell. It's traumatizing. It's horrifying and it's real. And you guys just sitting here like, yeah, whatever, Vince. Okay, blah, 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 blah. It's like, what do you think when people really oversaturate when they see a ghost or when they see something so horrifying that it changed their high view? It knocked me out to the point where I had to come to Christ. I had to quit Webtoon. I have to stop supporting sinful brands and stop supporting the devil. And, in certain ways that I didn't know I was supporting it. When I, and this is pretty much the religious segment of this whole cast, is that there is a reason why I had to stop making this LGBT stuff. I had to quit being part of the LGBT because I seen the dark side of what would happen if you go into that lifestyle that was rooted in demonic entities, and people just don't know about it. They look at me crazy and stuff like that, even though like there is this still part of me where, yeah, I'm not really straight, but I'm trying. All of us are trying. And when someone's not perfect and someone, people give like a lot of chances to a lot of people because they really think they give them a chance because they tried. I just don't understand. Like, you compare it to like other people that are speakers or something. You think they're perfect at all. Like you think like Candace Owens is perfect or these other like, political like, figures. I know Trump at all is not perfect. He could be a worse person than Kirk. Okay. But for Charlie Kirk, like, I don't understand. He's a person that debates. I don't really agree with a lot of stuff, but he didn't deserve what happened to him. It just doesn't make sense. And also this is the time where people are showing their true colors. You disliking my opinions about Charlie Kirk shows your true colors. It shows that you have a demon in you or not. It shows that you are just like, what your values stand and what you're against. And the thing is that the reason why I quit Webtoon is because I don't want to support that type of community anymore. I just don't want to be part of it. I'm done with it. I grew up from it. And the older I get, till this day, there's a lot of things that are going to change. And to this day, like, I still think about, Webtoon and stuff like that and the community and also with the bad people that I gather from there, but also the majority of good people that are still here right now. What really confused me is that why did I hit 15K knowing that I literally announced that I was going to quit Webtoon, that I made videos already and literally like, enough stuff. Like I already piled enough words in terms of like, things that I keep saying in these Vinz talks, in these gameplays that I keep mentioning that I am done with Webtoon. But you guys are still here. Why? Like, why? And what sucks is that you guys don't know how to speak up. One thing I respect about Charlie Kirk is he spoke up. One thing I respect by the people that are debating Charlie Kirk is that they spoke up. But how come I don't have anyone here in this audience that don't know how to speak up? Okay, these are literally the same age as you guys. I guarantee that there's a good amount of my audience that are 20s, that are in their 30s. There has to be. But y'all just keep your mouth shut, huh? And I guess that's the only safe way to do it. I know I could have kept my mouth shut for sure. I would have been canceled. would have been called out. And the thing about the whole Charlie Kirk situation, because there's so many layers to this, is that, yes, I'm afraid. You know, me and Stefan could literally have our heads in like a pedestal, to say it bluntly, knowing that we have our own opinions that other people disagree with. I know I do. As a person that was part of the LGBT community, I have a lot of opinions about that community. A lot that will get people riled up. Riled up. And I'm not afraid to say it. But there is this part of me where, should I let it go? Should I let it off? Should I make a dedicated video about it? Or should I just, just be silent and keep my mouth shut or something like that? Because this is a community that I was a part of. This is a community that I criticize. There is, like, why do you think with all the shooters are mostly part of that community? Why is it that it has to be part of that community? Why is the reason of, Charlie Kirk's killer and also is somewhat related into that community because of the girlfriend/boyfriend or whatever you may, prefer? Like, what does that say? And people, what really angers me is like, oh, we must protect trans. What's going to happen with them? Nothing has happened to the trans community. Nothing has happened to the LGBT community. Nothing has happened. So y'all good. Y'all safe. It seems like you got guns, so y'all can protect yourselves. We'll pretty much strap up. But at the same time, we need to have control. People need to pray, people need to pray for this community when it comes, down to stuff. Because we don't want to have another one of them, coming after people that disagree with their, their sexuality, with their, their gender or anything like that. Like when it comes down to having a security guard, it's not only to protect you from the others, but also the others from you. I think that's, especially with Aisha Speed or Kais and that having a security guard, it's also to protect, the others from them and them. And it goes both ways. The thing is that I'm speaking on about opinions. You disagreeing. What is the point of violence? Where did that came from? There is crazy people on all sides, from the right, from the left. It don't matter. But we got to have better security. We have to have better control. We have to have better, I keep saying, when I was really into the LGBT community, that I keep saying we need to hold our community in a bigger standard or accountable. We need to hold our community accountable. And there's nothing like that. There's none of that, because the amount of pride is in that community is insane. Y'all care about yourselves. You don't care about the others, huh? It just doesn't matter anymore. Meanwhile, I'm over here we gotta, we gotta be there. Mental health is real. We gotta be there for our trans friends. We gotta be there for our bi friends. We gotta be there for our gay friends and stuff like that. But no one listens to me. No one listens to me. Nobody listens to the others. What's going on? And maybe I'm not active anymore, so I wouldn't know. And there is very few voices that really talks about this. But what's happening? We got to hold them accountable. The thing is that if you can be whatever. And I say this, in a reference, not to reference anything, but I say this for myself. You can be trans. You can be gay. You can be, this color, that color. You can identify this and that. But you still have the same consequences as a normal human being, especially in this country. You still have the normal consequences. And you better live those consequences, especially if you're an adult. You still have these consequences. Plain and simple. Okay? And you should be in jail if you violate, if you cross a certain line, if you say a certain thing that is just absolutely unhinged, absolutely demonic. Yes, you deserve the crime. Pay the time. Or worse. The thing is that it's where's the accountability, huh? Why is the community not talking about it? I dabble in the LGBTQ, community, or at least, people that I still follow. And there is no accountability. There's no talk. There's we shouldn't do this. We should, what is going on? Demonic. It's a reason. I don't want to believe that, but it just shows. It just shows. And it pisses me off. Where is it? That's why I don't support this community anymore. Because I'm done. Y'all don't get my frustration here. Y'all really don't get my frustration. When it comes, I'm sick and tired. I'm sick and tired. I know I influenced many others, but the thing is that I was in the wrong path. I could have been close to Christ. You can never argue against God. Knowing that I choose God is way better than anything else. It shows that I'm trying to better myself, trying to change, trying to know a better life. And with Christ, that's the better life. Try to argue with that. Try to talk about like I seen the occult. And people say like, oh, this place, the amount of witchcraft and magic and stuff like that. I'm inside of within, knowledge of spirituality. And I guarantee that will lead you in a bad path. But with Christ, with Jesus, it leads you to somewhere better. I'm not here just to preach. I'm here to help you guys. I'm trying to help y'all. Within Christianity has always been the most accepting, religion out there in terms of, evangelicals. And pretty much, especially with the gospel. And I say that because we accept everyone. So we can help y'all. We can better yourself, thinking that you have it all down. No, you don't. Nobody has it down any better or anything like that. The thing, you think your life is perfect here and there. Is it though? Does perfect even exist as human beings, you and me? We have flaws. We have this. We're not perfect. Plain and simple. I guarantee you that if there's there's actually a 3% that is perfect. No, there isn't. That 3% is delusional because they're not perfect. I don't know how am I going to keep saying this. I know that you guys are smart. I speak to all communities that are subscribed to this channel. I know you're smart. I know you have a brain. Kids are smart nowadays. How the heck do you hack an Android and make it to your own TV or something like that? We're talking about, you have everything channels. The amount of, I can go on to the technical aspect. A good amount of you actually know, something better than college. For sure. And you're not even, 13. Kids are smart nowadays because of the internet. ChatGPT, of course. But here's the thing. What do you think is the better path? I argue with this. What do you think is a better path? Oh, live your life. Oh, stuff like that. What do you think is better than Christ? What do you think is better than God? You can't, how can you argue with that? How? What is something that is against God? Is someone actually going to suffer the consequences because of that? And I'm not saying from me. I'm saying that God will handle it. Okay? Listen, I'm anointed. I'm anointed. I feel the Holy Spirit within me. And also, I'm not doing good. My happiness is slowly dying down. That's why I come to Christ, because I'm tired of being depressed, man. I'm tired of being depressed. I don't enjoy making YouTube videos, but there's a part of me where I want to do a lot of things involving YouTube. I don't enjoy writing, but I want to write my books. I don't enjoy gaming sometimes, but there's so many games out there to look forward to. I haven't even touched Skate. There's so many games that I want to play. Nothing is perfect. Stop thinking that life is perfect for you. What all these people calling out Charlie Kirk, where it's like Jimmy Kimmel, where it's that crazy lady even calling out the kids, which is absolutely demonic, absolutely evil. Here's the thing. For now on, I'm going to call out evil. I'm going to call out the wrong things in this world, and I'm not holding back. We shouldn't hold back. We're going through this threshold where it's now or never, there was even this video of Review Tech, and I hate Review Tech. I never liked them. His opinions about, Christianity is absolutely demonic. Calling the Bible a fairy tale book. Unbelievable. Call that and see what's going to happen within your life, because God's not going to take that lightly. Okay? Shouldn't. To me. But with Review Tech USA, a person that I used to be subscribed to, and now I don't know what he's doing, but calls out the wife for crying, for mourning of his lost husband. How sick is that? It's not surprising, but how obvious and how sick is that? You have students expelled, and listen, right now, enough is enough. I would say like, oh, Trump has enough. No. It's God. God has had enough with all of you criticizing his own people that are trying to get to the good word to you. And you refuse to listen to it. You refuse to pass it. Some of you even like insult it, spit on it. Enough is enough. Standing on truth is what would set you free. The truth would set you free. But some truth will offend you to the point of, oh, we're going to start a riot or something worse. God forbid. But stand on truth. And I don't know. With all this energy I have right now, it's all because of how people treat this whole Charlie Kirk thing. The idea of it. Like, I have opinions. Now I'm terrified. I question like, oh man, I probably shouldn't show my face out here. But you got to understand where I'm coming from. It's all about truth. And it's not meant to make you happy. If anything, it's supposed to make you cry, but make you realize and make you a stronger person. And some of us need to be strong. Some of us are a little too comfortable. We're a little too comfortable because we got the internet. We can say whatever we want with our freaking fake accounts and just run off like nothing happens. Like there's no consequences, huh? But when you stand by truth, there's really nothing to be afraid of. There shouldn't be any, like what Charlie did, like he was calling the people out. Despite criticism, despite him not being perfect, none of us are perfect. And I guarantee someone's going to call out for our values and for what we believe in. But I just want to lay down the key points. The fear of criticizing. The fear of knowing that you're going to live another day because you give your opinions. The fear of following your fate. It's all within me because of what happened to Charlie Kirk. I didn't see that video and I don't want to see it. Of him getting shot. Why would I? It's what's scary is that the person that shoot Charlie Kirk, and this has nothing to do with my community, even though my community doesn't watch my videos anymore, sadly, because I don't do Webtoon. Oops. But and you're not going to like this, but I say this as the truth. Whatever the person is into, Robinson, I think his name is. I don't want to say his first name or whatever, but I have to really preference this. Is that this person could have easily be someone that I seen in my own community, in the LGBT community for. I could have been next to other people that are somewhat just like him. That and also could be subscribed to my channel because of all the LGBT content that I have made over the years. That scares me. And me talking about Charlie Kirk, me even just either it's slightly he doesn't deserve to die, even though I don't agree with him, or me going full on about Charlie Kirk, about the people that killed him, this is just demonic. This is not supposed to happen. This community and stuff like that. What are we even doing? Or just straight up being honest with you guys, okay? Like how I am right now. This killer could have easily, somewhat and I want to inspire. This is the thing. I want to inspire people to not be in, not go into that line. I don't know my community at all because I don't even get views at all. I don't have an active community at all. I don't know what you guys up to, but I still see the flags. I still see the pronouns. I still see this and that. And and for an impressionable age, you gotta let that go. At some point, if you're really serious for Christ, you gotta let that go. That's what I did. You don't see pronouns. You don't see a flag. You don't see me representing the flag at all. You don't see any, anything that identifies as me being bi. But with, especially with this whole government thing, tracking down the LGBT community and tracking down Discord and stuff like that, we gotta keep our act together. Because I could easily be accused of being a friend of Robinson, even though I never met him. Or be accused of another person that is within that community that is radicalized And they're gonna look at me like, "Are you responsible?" I was like, "No, I'm not. I left like the community. I left this lifestyle, but digital like the digital footprint is beyond more important because my digital footprint is well known within the LGBT community, and now I have to suffer the fear that I could be accused of like, being something part of this, because even though I'm not radical at all, even though like my presence with the LGBT community is lower compared to others, like it shouldn't be a surprise, especially for somebody like me being from San Francisco. And I was like, of course I'm bi, of course I'm from San Francisco, of course I'm a person of color. Hello. But there's a lot of things I disagree with. There's a lot of things that are just wrong with this community. A lot. And we got to pray, hoping for better days. And that's what I'm also scared about. My identity. Like, listen, some of you just don't like about this whole Charlie Kirk, but I'm going to keep repeating it because I want to expose the dark and bring it to the light. Who are these people? Where are you at? Why are you not speaking up? Do I have to keep calling it out? Do I have to make 10 more videos about it? Because we can do this. I have had enough. This whole thing gets to me, man. It's exposing a lot of people. And I hope it keeps going. Because this is not about Charlie Kirk. This is mostly about the final days. About like what is really going to happen in the future in this country, and pretty much with the amount of like comfort that we've been having. Anyways, I'll just get off this. We're going to move on to the news, something usual, because that's what I tend to do. But don't think I forget when I'm off this, okay? So who's David? D4VD. I don't know who that is, but it's a singer and has some good songs and stuff like that, but is actually a sick person that hid a freaking dead bio. Like, what? So I was looking into this, and it's like, yep, he's going to be either arrested or something because he's part of a kid. When you're an artist that has, like, you have everything, but out of nowhere, yeah, you just decide to put a dead person behind you. It's sickening. It's sad, but it's like, what? Like, was the whole singing thing supposed to hide all this? I don't know. Like, pretty much, like, I only heard of David recently because of TikTok. But then someone was mentioning about, like, them, like, in the crimes that they had. And it's like, oh, wait a minute. This person's going to court? What's this about? Oh. Anyways. Let's talk about some gaming news. I got 4 of them, 4 topics. First off, I want to say rest in peace to Billy from the Game Chasers. I don't know who this is. I don't know who Billy is. I never really... I mean, I probably might be familiar with Game Chasers when I'm, like, looking at, like, different videos of, like, old games in different places. I can, find these places and pick those games up. There's, like, just hole-in-the-wall stores out there. I went to one recently. It's a TCG shop. Really a hole in the wall in the Bay Area. But... yeah, this is sad. I seen like RGT made a video about it. I seen like, Side Scrollers made a video, Craig specifically. It's heartbreaking. We're losing a lot of people here. It's a very sad month, this, and people will say like, oh, it's 9/11 month. That's true, but you're just seeing just something going on in this month that is just absolutely just horrid. Also, Randy Pitchford. There's this whole controversy with the creators of Borderlands, and also Borderlands 4 just released recently, and yeah, there's a lot of controversy about Randy Pitchford basically going up against his own audience when it comes down to the game. Also, Skate 4 is out. I haven't played it yet. I heard it's not online, which why would you not have... Listen, there's this like whole conversation. I keep hearing people like, because I hear people reviewing Skate 4 and stuff like that. Listen, I call it Skate 4. And I'm gonna continue call it Skate 4. And if Cuz got something to do, want to do something about it, like, what's up? Where you at? I'm gonna call it Skate 4. And you know what he says? Like, it's not Skate 4. It's shut up. Shut up. It's Skate 4. I'm gonna call it Skate 4 when I want to. Yeah, it's called Skate. No, it's not. No, it's not. The first Skate game from decades ago is Skate. This is Skate 4, plain and simple. And the thing is that he's trying to make a new audience or something. I get it. For business-wise, I guess you have to make a new audience. But what about your older fans? Listen, when somebody makes like a game, like, either like Pokemon, the old fans enjoyed it too. I kind of believe, especially if Nintendo made Mario, it still pleases the older fans in some way. The same thing with Skate and what it's really about. And the thing is that for this new game, like, when it comes down to people reviewing Skate and stuff, the only thing I care about, because people are talking about the challenges, the customization, just shut up. I just want to play this game just to freaking skate. What is the purpose of having a skateboard? To skate. Plain and simple. Talking about like the challenges and stuff like that. My goodness. I just want to just skate. Like, that's it. Just get lost and skate. So this thing better have. Look, the online thing better not be a problem. I hope if it is going to be offline, it better be good. It better be good. Okay? Other than that, I would be so disappointed if like we have to have like a whole online problem or something. Like, there is already people that are good at this game. And I'm just sitting here like, can people just freaking relax? Have people been practicing Skate 3 secretly and then they hop into Skate 4 as if they played it for hours, but they literally just downloaded it and they're now going up to the freaking sky. They're now doing this like half pipe tricks in skyscrapers. It's like, whoa, you know what I mean? But I just want to skate. The videos are cool and stuff, but man, it's all up. I just want to give huge respects to people making videos of skate, like on TikTok and shorts and stuff like that, but just showcasing them skating, not talking, not showing their face. No, people know. It's like they know what they care about. It's skate, or maybe my algorithm knows what I care about. I don't care about the person playing the skate. I just care about, the freaking skate game. Okay? Time is not cheap. But anyways. Also, Bomb Rush, the creators of Bomb Rush Cyberpunk, if anybody remembers that game, it's kind of like a nod to Jet Set Radio, has made a new game. Team Reptile has made a new game, and it's called Hyperfunk. I don't know if it's related to this. It's like a sequel or something, but that's interesting. That's very interesting. I'm looking forward to that. Other than that, thank you for watching. Skylar coming on jazz. Listen, I just, rest in peace to Charlie Kirk, okay? You don't need to like him, but you got to understand the context of what's happening with the world around us, because a lot of people are still going to talk about it till this day. It is a big deal. A big deal. And you're going to be hearing it, not just from me. You're going to hear my perspective, but you're going to be hearing other perspective. And there's going to be a lot of people fired, a lot of people just like celebrating still. Crazy enough. It is what it is. One love for the peace. And I'll still want to see you. God bless.